What's going on, Falcon fan? It's your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about the great win that our Atlanta Falcons got yesterday in the Superdome against those hated Saints. Before we get into that, let's guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button. Please hit the notification bell. Please share my videos throughout the YouTube universe. All right, so let's get into the video. So yesterday, this is going to be a reaction, my reaction to the win that we got yesterday and the Superdome. I can say that, hey, our Falcons, they never let us down. They always keep us watching to the end, right? So if you think you can leave because they got it in the bag, that's not how our Falcons like to let us do. They like to let us sit there and sweat bullets and make us thinking that, you know, we're going to have a repeat of some other games that we would not mention. But at the end of the day, these guys came in, they pulled off a victory, and that's what it was. It was a victory. If you look at it from a holistic standpoint, it was offense, defense, and special teams again. It was a team win that we got, that we needed. And right now, if you look at the standings, the Atlanta Falcons is just at the 7th seed, which means they control their own destiny. I mean, since they're in the 7th seed, they don't need another team to lose for them to actually to make the playoffs. It's just up to them. So if anybody would have said it after week 9, that our Atlanta Falcons, this new regime, was going to be sitting there in position to go to the playoffs, we would all took that. So let's celebrate that. So just get into the game. Our guys, the Atlanta Falcons, they started out very well. I mean, we took the lead 10-0 going into the half. That last drive before the half was spectacular by Arthur Smith. His play calling, that's situational football. And if you guys can recall last year, a lot of situational football we missed. We did not capitalize on situational football, and be able to do that drive and to lead by like 6 seconds on the clock just to kick a kickoff to them, because we knew they was getting the ball to start the second half. But to do that drive and then only leave a couple seconds left after a touchdown to be 10-0, it's like they had no benefit from that. So we scored, and then they got the ball back at half. That's great situational football. And if we take anything from this season, we can see that that's one thing that Arthur Smith understands. He understands situational football. He has done things like this on different occasions throughout the season, and I thought that was awesome how he did it. I think the only thing that we need to be concerned about a little bit is the fact that we gave up a big lead, right? So when you're looking at the big lead that we gave up, I can understand their philosophy. Dean P, he did mention it. It really don't matter about yards. It's all a matter about points. And you're making them drive the field, right? They chewing up clock. But the problem with that is you got to play complementary football. So if you're going to make them chew up the clock on the defense to score on offense, you can't go 3 and out. You got to at least have sustainable drive. I don't think Arthur Smith got complacent. I just think his play calling was questionable. But only reason you say it's questionable because it didn't work. So maybe just have a different selection of plays next time. Especially on that last drive, the drive before the last drive of the game, where he had Felipe Franks out there trying to run his own read. I don't know. I understand when you do a play like that. Now it's on film, right? So it's something extra for the defense to have to plan for, have the schedule for it, because in essence, you can run a lot of different plays out of Felipe Franks running his own read, because he is a quarterback, so he'd be able to pass the ball. He could do a reverse. There's so many different plays you can do off that one look, having Felipe Franks in there, and it could be setting up something for later on down the road. However, in that crucial moment of the game, I thought I probably should have just left that, you know, right in the closet to another day. But that's because it didn't work, right? If it worked, we'd be like, he's a genius. All right, so every time, every play that you call, it's not gonna work. It didn't come back to bite us in the butt, but I think just playing complementary football. I understand what Dean P is doing. He's making them chew a clock, take a lot of yards. Those drives was not fast. That last drive was fast because of the penalties that the Saints had. If you think about it, we had the penalty on Richie Grant on the punt. Then we had the roughing the quarterback on the sack from Foyer, and then we had the pass interference on Fabian Moreau. So if you look at those three plays, that was really a bad sequence for our defense and our special teams right there to give them the lead. But the problem was they left too much time left on the clock, and we capitalized on that. I thought that was a great play call from Arthur Smith. They went back to a play they had used early in the game, had 1-on-1. If you look at it, it was a linebacker in the first quarter. This time it was a defensive back on him, but it still didn't matter. Still was a great throw by Matt Ryan, great catch by Cordell Patterson, and run after catch was awesome as well. So right after that happened, I can honestly say I took a sigh of relief. However, I still was kind of worried. We know Koo did miss a kick last week, but he's usually money. It's the only kick he missed all year. So 29-yard field goal should be a chip shot for most kickers anyway. So should just seal the deal right there with that first play from Matty Ice to Cordell Patterson. Some other things that I liked from the game was initially I thought the run defense was about to do it to us again. The Saints was running up the field, but then they finally made the personnel changes that I mentioned. I wasn't expecting Anthony Rush to get in the game, but I think he contributed very well, and that's what we've been talking about when you're having a big body in the middle of the defense where can't be moved, who's putting in penetration right up the middle, and our linebacker was making tackles. Dion had 10 tackles yesterday. Fourier had 9. These guys still leading the team in tackles, but that defensive tackle, that big body, him and Mike Pennell in the middle, once they got in the game, I thought we was able to start to control the line of scrimmage from a defensive standpoint, and we was able to start to run. They only ran for 101 yards, but if you looked at that game to start the first half, I thought it was about to be another 200-yard game from the offense standpoint. So I thought that was very, very well the adjustment that was made by Dean Pease and the coaching staff to go ahead and bring those guys in. I think moving forward, we need to make sure we put those guys in the game plan for the rest of the year, because those guys definitely is going to be beneficial, I feel, for our run defense. Nothing against the the other guys they got in there, but they just too light for our defense. We're going to play a 3-4 defense. We got to be able to have somebody in the middle big to let our linebackers do what they do. But guys, like I said, I think Cordell Patterson said it right. I think they love to give us a heart attack. And honestly, if I can be totally honest with you guys, I thought I started getting a little bit of flashbacks. Even though I really believe, I understand this is a different team, but just being a Atlanta Falcon fan and if I just go back into like in the early 90s when we used to give up, I mean, it just seemed like we always had talent. We always was able to not be a team that was just scrubs, a bunch of scrubs. It just seemed like we always just shot ourselves in the foot towards the end, and I think we're about ready to change that culture. If you look at 3 of our wins this season, it's been drives by our offense to kick a field goal to end the game. That's the way you finish. That's the way you finish. And then the fourth win that we had against the Jets, our offense sealed the game by driving and getting the first down and punching it in for a touchdown after the Jets were starting to come back in London. So if you look at our 4 wins, that could be our formula. We stay close, we stay in the game, and then we put the ball in our offense to finish it out, to finish. Complementary football. Defense holds up long enough to keep us in the game, then our offense can finish it off. And with our awesome kicker, Koo. So that could be the formula. We don't like it. We hate close games. I know it's in there, it's nail biting. But if you look at, and I don't know if anybody watching the game, and the Falcons have had a lot of one-score games in the last couple of years, between last year and this year, which means that we're right there. We're very close, and we're always in games. We just got to learn how to finish the games, and I think we're learning that with this regime. I think we're learning that with this coaching staff. I think we're only going to get better. And when I look at Arthur Smith's first year, I look at it like a coach coming into a college program. Not saying it's college, but coming in a college program and not having his own recruits, and then he bring his own recruits in, and then the next year you can see where his philosophy, his mentality, his players, his guys come in and start to play the scheme that he want to play. So I can see that, but if we could be productive this year, you could just see the progression of our team moving forward. So that's just one of the things that I like about this team. It looked like we're starting to finish. That's what we like to see, and that's what we did. And it's all so much sweeter that it was against those guys. It was against those guys who had a winning record. They was 5-2. They won that game, they would be the top of the NFC South. We went down to New Orleans and we spoiled their party. And now we're in the playoff hunt, just like we want to be. We got 9 games left. We know what's next. We're going to a reunion with a couple of our pals down in Dallas. We know those guys going to be ready to play because of where they played yesterday. But that's all we can ask for our team, is to be in the mix. We need to be in the mix in November and December. So if we could stay where we're at and keep progressing, moving forward, that's all we can ask. And with that, guys, that's all I got. How about those Dirty Birds taking down those Ain'ts in the Superdome? So this your boy Ricondo. You guys let me know what you think about the win yesterday. Peace.